Some hatchery trout are built to grow, not reproduce.
And that's the point of a triploid trout. A normal rainbow has 2 sets of chromosomes, where a triploid has 3. Hatcheries can make this happen by shocking newly fertilized eggs with pressure, heat, and cold at the right stage of development. One of the foundational studies on all-female rainbow trout was done by researchers Lincoln and Scott. Yet, most anglers have never heard of it, even though it shaped how hatcheries produce sterile fish today. In their work, triploid production ranged from 75 to 100% in 3 egg batches, and from one strain, 50% in another batch from a winter spawning strain. So, making sterile trout isn't magic. It's a hatchery technique that has to be checked and verified. The all-female part matters, though. Female triploids generally don't develop normal eggs, which is why agencies use them around waters where wild trout genetics matter. Alaska explains it pretty plainly. All-female triploid rainbows are stocked to support inland sport fisheries while reducing the chance that hatchery fish establish new populations, or hybridize with wild fish. The fishing side is where it gets more interesting. Sterile doesn't mean bulletproof. It doesn't mean every fish becomes a giant. It doesn't mean they survive well in every kind of water. One study stocked 300 triploids and 300 diploids into each of 18 streams. Anglers returned 1,800 tags, about 900 from triploid and 900 from diploids. And so if you're fishing right at a plant, sterility probably isn't the reason one trout bites and another doesn't. Survival is a different story. Radio tag work on hatchery triploid rainbows and streams found heavy early loss after stocking, with many fish gone within the first month, and that fits with what fishermen see on stocked creeks. The first few days can be good around bridges, pools, access points, and slow seams. Then the fish spread out, get eaten, get caught, drop downstream, or fail to adjust. Triploids often make more sense in lakes and reservoirs than small streams. In still water, a stocked trout can cruise, recover, find a temperature band, and start feeding on midges, scuds, snails, damselflies, nymphs, and small bait fish. In moving water, that same hatchery fish has to immediately solve current, cover, drift, lanes, predators, and displacement all at once. Brook trout studies in Utah alpine lakes add another useful detail. Across multiple lakes and pond trials, diploid and triploid brook trout had similar catch rates, body condition, diets, trophic position, and aggression. In a few larger lakes, diploids averaged only about 20 millimeters longer. That's less than an inch. So, from the bank, don't fish triploids like a different species. Fish the conditions. After a fresh plant, check the stocking access, the first deep water nearby, soft current seams, wind-blown banks, and the shallow shelf closest to colder water. A week or 2 later, stop fishing the truck route and start fishing the lake. Temperature, oxygen, insects, bait, shade, and edges. Triploid trout are a stocking tool, but once they hit the water, they still have to pass the same tests as every other trout. Find food, avoid dying, and stay in water their body can handle.